that I've heard from Rabbi Mizrachi. Somebody once called it up and said to him, I don't know where stockings when it's hot. The lady calls him up, I don't know where stockings when it's hot. So this line, do you remember this? So this line back was, Gehenna's hot. Anyway, I'm going to now, without further ado, Rabbi Mizrachi.
Thank you very much. Happy Hanukkah, everyone. Since we are in the middle of Hanukkah, and it's a very important event in my eyes, so I will mix between the two events and try to turn it into one lecture. We're gathering here tonight to help one of the most important causes of our time. Many, many years ago, in the time of Moshe Rabbeinu, in the times of the Tanaim, in the times of the Rishonim, when a holy Rav that probably was 1,000 or 10,000 times greater than all of us combined, when he wanted to speak to a group of people, how many people he was able to talk to? 20, 50, 500? How would they tell everyone to come to his lecture? There's no media, no telephones, no emails, none of the things that we have today. It has to go from word to mouth. Since there was no media, it used to be something very interesting. Some fakers used to pretend that they are their famous rabbis. Like one person pretended that he's the Magid Miduvna. So he came to town and he said, I'm going to speak in a shul on Shabbos. And accidentally, the Magid Miduvna was visiting in town. He was sitting at Shabbos and listening to the faker. But only in the last 5 minutes, he got up and said, that's a lie. That's not true. So he said, how do you know? Who are you? So he said his name. He said, no, it's me. No, it's me. You're lying. But nobody knew how people look. Not like today, every rabbi you know his pictures. Someone asked me, how do they know you? You speak on the radio. I said, what do you think? After they listen to the lecture, they go, they Google me. My website comes out, they see my picture, so they know me. Every face, you know, because it takes a second to find the face. But in the old days, it wasn't like that. First of all, there's no pictures. No pictures. If somebody wanted to know how the Gaon Mivina look, he had to take an artist to draw a picture of him, and the Gaon Mivilna wouldn't sit for 2 hours until he finished the job, because he didn't waste 2 hours in his entire life. So nobody knew how they look, besides their own students. What I'm trying to say is very simple. You take the holiest rabbi in history, they didn't have the opportunity to do what a radio station does. That's what people don't get. Hashem gave us a gift. In a poor generation, spiritually like today, when the level of Torah and Yirat Shamayim is constantly dropping every generation more and more, he gave us something to balance the situation a little bit. If there is not such a high quantity, at least let's gather lots of quality to to balance the situation. I see that since they started to put the lectures, my personal lectures, and I'm sure all the other speakers will say the same thing, on the radio, first of all, I saw that my website went up by another 30 or 40%, which means many, many thousands of new listeners. And also, we have more people who are willing to sponsor CDs and give them out to secular people, and saving more souls. And this is 1,000,000% the merit of the radio station. So when there is an event, when a radio station that spreads Torah and saves souls and gives so many Yirat Shamayim to so many people, are making a fundraising event, if we were normal, all of us, all people around the area, they should stand 24 hours in advance online, let me get in, let me catch a place, I'll be one of the first one to walk in. But we don't understand what does it mean to do kiruv, to save souls. So let me explain a little bit about Zikui Arabim, what does it really mean. But before we get into it, we are right now in Hanukkah. Everywhere you go, elementary school, kindergarten, yeshiva, mesivtot, you hear the same thing, that it's really not so true. What do we hear? Hanukkah symbolizes that we won over Malchut Aresha'a Shel Yavan. That we won, we the Jews, the tiny nation, the holy tiny nation, the children of Hashem, was able to defeat the Greeks. Physically, we know that it's true. The Greek Empire is gone. Just like the Babylonians, the Romans, the Persians, the Philistines, the Egyptians, and many others. They're all gone. But the ideology of the Greeks is defeating us every second for the last 2,500 years. Let's not make any mistakes here. We are deeply into their culture. We are much more Greeks than Jews. We should not hallucinate. Take almost every one of us, with some exceptions. I'm not saying there's no perfect people out there, but most of us, if you take us and you put us in a machine, the machine has to detect how much Jewish there is in this guy or girl, and how much Greek. I'm afraid the machine will break to the wrong side. Why? Sports, food, restaurant, jewelry, vacations, televisions, Facebook, movies, modern things, non-stop, Tarbut Yavan. Just enough that we go into a holy yeshiva, that kids learn Gemara for hours every day, and then the kid comes out of the yeshiva and speaking about some baseball player or a football player. You find any better shame than this? It's a big shame. But, you know how they say, if you can beat it, join it. You can't beat him, join him. We can't beat it, the rabbis say. What can we do? So let's cooperate with this. It's not such big deal. There's much worse things to do. Maybe they're right, maybe they're wrong. Only Hashem knows. It's very hard in chinuch to know if you're 1,000,000% correct. Very difficult. But one thing we know, that the culture of the Greeks is everywhere. Everywhere you go. People are dying for sport. What sport? It came from Sparta. Sparta, the Greeks invented it. The Greeks. You see people, they try to hide their yarmulke. They're afraid of Chilul Hashem. They sit in an 80,000 stadium with 80,000 goyim, and a few hundreds of them Jews, and then from the few hundreds maybe there's some Orthodox Jews. They try to cover the yarmulke and fold their beard as much as they can, and they sit over there for 3-4 hours giving their life that this American player taking a piece of stick and hit a piece of leather, and they cry and they're so happy. The Mashiach arrived, Baruch Hashem. If this is not the culture of the Greeks, what else is the culture of the Greeks? Couldn't be more Greeks than that. The Greeks invented it. That was their life. Football cards. I once took a football card for a kid. You should see how he cried. I say, wow, imagine if we take a picture of a Rebbe from him like this, he will cry like this, then we know the Mashiach will come in a minute. How he cried when he took this player, this baseball player, basketball player, whatever. You should see how he cried, how he's connected to this Tarbut Yavan, like infusion into his veins. And it's one, it's thousands, it's tens of thousands. So it's very hard, very hard. So to come and pretend that we overcome the Tarbut Yavan, who are we fooling? We are very, very much Greeks into us. But I want to ask a question. If you ask, what is the main event that caused Chazal, our sages, to make Hanukkah a holiday, an 8 days holiday? It's a rabbinical holiday like Purim and Hanukkah. What was the event that convinced the rabbi from now on we're making a decree? What? Every year there's going to be 8 days Hanukkah. What was the event? So when we go to school, they teach us that we celebrate Hanukkah for 8 days because of the nes of Pach HaShemen. Pach HaShemen. There was hundreds of barrels of oil, olive oil, special for the menorah of Bet HaMikdash. And the Greeks make sure that they contaminate every one of them, and they open the seal. And now it's tameh. There was no pure oil. And because of that, there was nothing to do. And in the end, there was a miracle. They found a little barrel, which was supposed to be for 1 day, so it ended up less for 8 days. That's the story. It's not exactly correct, this story. Why? Because we have a rule, Tum'a utra betzibur. There was no oil, they could use the oil that they touched. It wasn't the end of the world. Yeah, of course, you want a pure oil, of course. Also in Pesach, if everyone is impure, everyone will celebrate Pesach and eat Korban Pesach. Some of us are impure, they'll wait for Pesach Sheni. But if everyone is Tameh, Tum'a utra betzibur, gathering together, fine. So really, if that's the case, it shouldn't have been any Hanukkah b'chlal. We open the Siddur 3 times a day. This week we say Ala Nisim, Ala Purkan, Chamo, Ala Yeshurot. If you read the text of the entire thing, there's nothing about the Pach Shemen. You should have said, and the oil that lasts for 8 days instead of 1 day, and we were able to light the menorah with this oil. Nothing about it. They're focusing, the Nosach of Chazal is focusing on one thing, that the Torah wasn't destroyed. There was a clear attention by the Greeks to destroy the Torah. That was this whole thing about the Greeks was not to kill us physically. Remember, there's a difference. We say in Tehillim, "Apach nishbar ve'anachnu nimlatnu." The pach in Hebrew, in ancient Hebrew, in Lashon Kodesh, means a trap. So the trap broke, and we were able to get away. What Pach? The secret of here is Purim Chanukah, abbreviation Pach. There's 2 main decrees in history that created for us 2 rabbinical holidays that even in the time of Mashiach, these holidays will not change. Whatever that means. That's the word of Chazal. This remain forever, the koach of the Chachamim. But the idea is that in Purim and Chanukah is totally different. Totally, there's nothing to even try to compare. Purim, it was a Holocaust, physical Holocaust. Hanukkah, it was a spiritual Holocaust, completely different. Which Holocaust is worse? Killing the bodies or killing the souls? The Gemara answered it clearly. Gadol ha'machtio yoter min ha'orgo. Making a righteous person wicked, much worse than to kill him physically. That's why righteous women in Europe, in the time of the Holocaust, the ones who had real faith, what did they do? They came with the babies to the Nazi soldiers before they put them on a truck. Kill him before I go. Kill him. Why? Better you kill this little boy now, and I know for sure he went to heaven, that all my life I would live in fear. Maybe he became Christian in some orphanage home, in a church somewhere. Why? They were in a very high level. They knew the soul is much more important than the box, the body. Other women, they went with the heart, not with the brain. They hid them by the Christians. What happened? They became priests in Paris, in Germany. Until now we suffer from these kids. Some of them are in the Vatican. Why? So what's better? It was better that they'll die righteous and go to heaven, or they become idol worshiper working in a church, and who knows how anti-Semites they are now today, not knowing they're even Jewish. You know that famous story that after the Holocaust, I believe it was Rabbi Toledano from Morocco that speaks French, together with an Ashkenazi rabbi who speaks Yiddish, but he doesn't know French. The Ashkenaz rabbi had information that in some orphanage home in Paris, there's many Jewish children that their parents gave them to the priest over there to take care of them until after the war. So he said, listen, you speak French, I speak Yiddish, we got to save these Ashkenazi boys, let's go there. So he went there, the Rabbi Toledano was speaking with them in French. Once they let them in, he said to the priest, I came to take the kids, the Jewish kids. He said, where are you going to find them? So look how many hundreds of them. Do you think we know who was born a Jew, who's not? We take care of all orphans equally here. So he said, no, give me 1 minute, and we will tell you who's a Jew. So he said, Shema Yisrael, Hashem Elokeinu, Hashem Echad, in Yiddish, Havara, Yiddish accent, and all the little kids started to scream, Mommy, Mommy, Tate, Tate. Why? It's the last thing they remember from their parents. Every night, a Jewish mother says Shema Yisrael to her kids. All of a sudden, they had a flashback of their mother. So the kids ran and hugged the rabbis. Even the priest was crying, he had tears. So, okay, take them quick before they find out. And that's how they saved them, they brought them to Israel. Imagine if they wouldn't go and save them, have another few hundreds Christians who bow down to their getchkes, to the idols, and they're all Jews, they don't know. Just like in Israel, half of the Hamas are Jews, did you know? Did you know half of the Hamas terrorists are Jews? Did you ever hear that or no? Half of them are Jewish neshamot. Why? They say 60,000 Jewish women married Arabs in the Arab villages, and they all gave birth to 10, 15 kids, and many of them, there's no parnasa there, so they get a salary from Saudi Arabia, and they work for the Hamas, terrorists killing Jews. Jews killing Jews for $1,000 a month that comes from Saudi Arabia or Bahrain. That's what's happening now. But we didn't come here to speak about a physical problem. We came to talk, this is Hanukkah, this is a spiritual holocaust who has been going on non-stop for more than 2,000 years. Haman wanted to kill all Jews regardless, religious, not religious, male, female, doesn't matter. In the time of Haman, do you think there was any secular Jews? What do you think? In Persia, King Ahasuerus, do you think there were secular Jews? Where do you see a proof that all Jews in the time of Haman were ultra orthodox? First, if they were like today, if they were modern like today or secular like today, if they went to eat by the goy, by the king, by Obama, in a White House, and they made them glad kosher section with glad kosher mashgichim, anyone would make a beep? I'm sure HaKadosh Baruch Hu wouldn't get upset. It's been done every minute. One billionaire told me, I went to business meeting with the king of Morocco. You should see what they've done for me. He's a very, very well-known Jew. Probably you all know him. I once did a Shabbaton in his house. So he told me, I went to a business meeting with the king of Morocco. They made a whole kitchen kosher for me. Glad kosher, brought rabbis, everything with sealed. Who knows how much they invested just because the Orthodox Jew came for a business meeting. So it's good or bad? Based on the Megillah, glad kosher, not glad kosher, are not allowed to participate. Because that's how the entire decree started. Plus, Haman is saying to Ahasuerus, there's a strange nation. Strange nation. What's strange about them? They speak different. They have a different religion. They dress different. If you give me permission, I'll give you tons of money. Let me destroy them. That's how it started. Today, if somebody in America or in Russia wanted to come to Putin or to Obama and say, give me permission to get rid of the Jews, so he would ask why. He said, they all dress different, they all speak different, they all have a different religion, different customs. Obama or Putin would say, I don't really know what you're talking about. Half of my staff are Jews. They eat together with me in a restaurant across the street. What customs? The same tie, same suit I wear. We go together in my private jet. We eat, we drink l'chaim. What's the problem? I don't see a difference between us and them. But Ahasuerus couldn't answer this because Haman was right. We were different than them. And still, we were 1 second from being destroyed. 1 second. V'na'afochu in the last second. But remember, the decree was all physical. In Hanukkah, the Greeks did not want to kill us. At all. It wasn't a decree to kill our body. It was a decree to interfere with our religion and ideology. That's why they didn't come to burn and to destroy Bet HaMikdash like all the others. They just wanted to make us religious problems. Impure the oil, do all kinds of things. Make us right. We have no share in the God of Israel, God forbid. Today, if the Greeks would live today, instead of riding on the ox horns, I have no share, God forbid, in the God of Israel, they would make us put stickers on our car. Hey, you a Jew? Put a Star David, and right next to it, put a sticker, divineinformation.com. No, put a sticker. I don't have a, Chaz v'shalom, I'm afraid even to say it a few times, I said it. But you got the point. You have to put a sticker. We catch you without a sticker, we'll execute you. But as long as you have the sticker, not we're not going to do anything to you. We'll give you food stamps. We'll give you Section 8. We'll give you freedom of speech, whatever you want. We'll even put you on the radio. No problem. We'll give you our daughters. You'll be one of us. The Greeks, the Mitiavnim. So many of the Jews saw time is very bad. They started to become Greeks. Took off their beards, took off their yarmulkes, and they started to behave like the Greeks. The minority, the Hashmonaim and the few hundred people, thank you, and the few hundred people, the Hashmonaim and the few hundred people who survived, they went against all odds, against the biggest empire in the world, who has all the power, all the art, all the wealth, everything, and they went actually to commit suicide. Technically, think about it. They knew, thank you, technically they knew that we are going to die on Kiddush Hashem. You know, many times you hear today, poor Jew, he died on Kiddush Hashem. 9 out of 10 times it's not true. Just because an Arab killed a Jew that he had a yarmulke doesn't mean he died on Kiddush Hashem. Just because he killed you because you're a Jew, yeah, you died because you're a Jew. It gives you some good extra points, but it doesn't mean to die on Kiddush Hashem. To die on Kiddush Hashem means he tells you, bow down to this idol. And what happened? You say Shema Israel and you give your life. That's called Met al Kiddush Hashem. It means you had a way out, you were able to save yourself, but you gave your life for the Kiddush, for sanctifying the name of Hashem. That's called Met al Kiddush Hashem. Other than that, what every Jew that died because he's a Jew is Met al Kiddush Hashem, that explains why when they hypnotize some people and they do regression. I have a lecture which I brought a few CDs outside, Life After Death, and it's also in my website. They do regression, they speak to the subconscious of a human being, and they're able to regress him on time to previous years, which means 10, 20, 50, 100 years ago. And the soul, it's a direct communication into the soul, into the subconscious. And many times people speak in different languages that they don't even recognize today. They can't even speak this language. But when you speak to their mind, they begin to speak languages, and later when you show them the video, they're surprised, they don't know what they say. It's very interesting. That's, by the way, a very strong proof for reincarnations, that the soul is traveling from one body to another. But you know, it's very interesting because they sometimes get to people who used to be in Germany or in Poland, and they got murdered by the Nazis, and they're still coming back in Gilgulim. So one of the parapsychologists asked a girl, she was murdered when she was 17 years old. She was standing online. She described it in a regression, in hypnosis. And then in the middle of the session, she started to scream in Yiddish, and then her head fell down, which means live now. They took her back live 60 years, how she was murdered in a specific day. They asked her, why did you have to come back in reincarnation? You died on Kiddush Hashem. You were murdered in the Holocaust. She said, I had many sins. Only 17 years old. I had many sins. It didn't help me that much. Also, an Israeli soldier died in Lebanon. They did regression. They did a seance, different case. Now they called his soul. They called the soul, and he said that he's suffering a lot after his death. So they told him, but you died protecting the land. You died in a war. You died on Kiddush Hashem with the Israeli uniform. How are you now suffering? You're supposed to go to heaven. He said, what are you talking about? Nonsense. What does it mean, die on Kiddush Hashem? I had so many sins. I was Mechalel Shabbos all my life. It wasn't enough to save me. So we see here that this expression that everyone likes to use, Met al Kiddush Hashem, Beloni. Met on Kiddush Hashem means I could get away. I had enough money to bribe this guy. Take the money, leave me alone. I say, no, you know what, Shema Israel. This is what Rabbi Yosef Karo, Rabbi Yosef, the writer of Shulchan Aruch, he said, I had opportunities to die on Kiddush Hashem. I had. He was jealous with Rav Yosef Molcho, which was one of the Anusim who gave the wealth to die on Kiddush Hashem, for real. So Maran Bet Yosef, he say, I had opportunities also to give my soul and life to die on Kiddush Hashem. But I realized that to be Mezakeh Arabim is much more important than to die on Kiddush Hashem. I spread all the Torah to all over the world, writing Shulchan Aruch, And remember, there wasn't like today that you press a button and everything comes on a screen. You had to go to the rich people, collect 5 books from here, 2 books. It's all handwriting with a feather on a scroll. The job was 1,000,000 times harder than to write it today. If he lived today, it would take him much, much less. Everything he wants, you click on a button, everything comes. It was very difficult to write Shulchan Aruch. I said, when Haman wanted to make his decree, if it would happen in our days, how long it would take him from the time he decided to execute the Jews until it would go into action? How long? Well, probably a week, not months. Why a week? They just put an ad on Facebook. Everywhere, all over the world, no, now it's a mitzvah to kill all Jews. Not only you don't go to jail, you get a reward. Prove the government that you killed a Jew, will send you $1,000. What would happen? That's it. It's a new law. Haman, in 1 minute, will destroy all of us. But in the old primitive days, it took months, and Baruch Hashem, there was enough time to do tshuva, and in the end, everyone got saved. When we go now, listen good, we go now to the Greeks. Yes, in the end we won, and in the end we were able to save Bet HaMikdash. All these things is true. But today, we still never got rid of their influence on us. To win means that nothing Greek stay in our society. You know, there are 3 different ideologies in life. The Greeks, the Muslim, and the Jews. The Jews were prior to them, the first ones. But let's start from the last one, the Muslims. The Muslim says there is a very serious dilemma. What is it? If God knows the future, how does it mean that we are able to choose what we do? Right? It's a famous question. So the Muslims were trying to answer this question, and they say, you know what? Therefore, we don't really choose. It's all min Allah. Everything is from God. Whatever's supposed to be, will be. It's written in Shamayim. My destiny is pre-decided. Right or wrong? Wrong. Completely wrong. Why? First of all, the same Muslims, they have reward and punishment in their religion. They execute people, they hit people with a whip until today. So if you are a robot, why are you punishing the robot? Poor robot, someone is moving him with a remote control and is still giving him problems. It's not his fault. So they contradict themselves. Doesn't make sense. The Greeks had the same dilemma. The Greeks say, if God, if the creator of the world knows the future, how can it be that we choose? So they came with a different conclusion. That means God doesn't know the future. Also a problem, because the Torah is full of proofs that Hashem knows the future. I'll just give one example. King David asked Hashem, if I'll go to hide in a city of Keilah, would the city of Keilah turn me into the hand of King Shaul? Hashem told him, yes, they will. Since Hashem knows what's going to happen. Told him they will. He sees the future. There's hundreds of examples. I just decided to give one little one. But the Torah say, yes, Hashem knows the future, and we still choose 100%. And I don't have time now to go into this because I have a whole lecture about it. Free choice. But the ideology still remains. You know how many Jews until today are actually still saying that it's all supposed to be? It's meant to be, they say. It's meant to be. What happened? My car got destroyed. How did it happen? It's meant to be. Not true. It wasn't meant to be. You know why it's meant to be? It's not meant to be. You did something that caused you to lose it. That doesn't mean it's meant to be. We design our own future. Remember this. I always say the concept of the free choice is like the GPS. You make one mistake, you did not get off the right exit. What happened to the GPS? All the directions is changing. Everything. Nothing stayed the same. Nothing. All the blocks, all the map, is all changing. A person make one mistake, one sin today, his future will never be the same. Even though he doesn't see any connection between his future to what he did in the past, because that will eliminate the free choice, and Hashem doesn't want it. But a person have to know that what happens to me today, if I'm sick today, it's something that I did in the past few years. If I lost money today, that means it's the way I behave. If I'm sick, if I'm wounded, if chas v'shalom I die young, it's all because of what I've done. This is what the Torah say. Biglal hadavar hazeh atem tamutu. Because of that you're going to die, Hashem say. Because of what you did. And the Zohar and the Gemara, it leaves no doubt that what we do, design our future. Hashem gave us get out of jail card to save ourselves. Every one of us, if we are honest, we see that we are far away from being exactly like the Torah asks us to be. We're very far. But Hashem gave us few opportunities, shortcuts, to get out of our misery and to save our olam haba, save our world to come. It's not going to be an exaggeration to say that the wealthy people have an opportunity to buy olam haba with their money, to buy it. Even they're far away from being righteous themselves. Hashem gave them something in their hand. They do a lot of stupid things with this. But if they use their mind 1 minute to analyze the opportunity that they have, they can buy olam haba and no one can take it away from them. The Satan cannot make a beep in their trial. It wasn't such a Shomer Shabbat. Hashem said to the Satan, be quiet. It wasn't such a person that makpid on eating kosher. Hashem said, shh. Don't make a beep. One thing, only one way to get out of this. What? To save souls. You save other souls, you duplicate yourself all the time. Right now, before you started to deal with Kiruv, before you started to get involved with Radio Hidabroot or with all these opportunities that we have right now, before that, you are only one individual. Now you made a contribution or support this station in any way you can, and another Jew became Shomer Shabbat. You have a share in this, and another one, and another one, and another one, and one day he has children and grandchildren. One day a person dies, he comes to Shamayim, they begin to show him all these sins. He goes nuts. So wow, where will I even start to correct all this? Then the good part's coming. Hashem say, yeah, but you're not only one person. There's 1,500 more of you. 1,500 me? Where are they? You begin to show him all these people. See, this guy this guy that. This is what you bought with your own money. But the people don't understand. They will burn their money on nonsense with no problem. But when it comes to saving souls, it's the hardest thing to do. The hardest. Check on yourself. You probably donated in your life to many different causes. Check always that the cause that saves souls, it's the hardest to give. The hardest. I can tell you from many years of experience. I, throughout my traveling in the world and going to different states, many times came across not wealthy people, the wealthiest people in the world. And it's wealthiest people who have more than $10 billion. It's very wealthy people. People who own many companies. One person who had 5,000 employees. People that don't even know what they have. What was the problem for them to write $10,000 a month check to make CDs, 10,000 more DVDs, and save another 1,000 Jews every month? What was it for them? They wasted on a lunch. It's nothing for them. One of them told me, I was walking with him in a very hot weather on Shabbat. So we started to talk, and I realized that every 2 weeks he go on a different vacation. 2 or 3 weeks he's in Japan, this, that, islands. So I told him, it was a year ago, so I told him 16 years I did not go on vacation. So he looked at me, he said, what? 16 years? He said, your wife agree? For us, vacation is a punishment. Suitcases, that, cabs, airport, children, where they are, getting on a plane, coming to the place, hotel, this, no. Oh, so much headache, forget about it. What to do? To see beautiful lakes? What are we going to see on vacation? Beautiful, nice chandeliers? What are we going to see? Nice hotel, beautiful cars, nature? No, Baruch Hashem. You can see that today without wasting so much time. He said, no. I have to get you on a vacation, he said to me. I said, don't worry about it. He said, listen, I have a big boat. Listen good to the story. I just want to show you how the Satan works. I have a big boat. I have a private captain. I have a private chef. Everything on the boat is lat kosher. I'm going to fly you and your wife here to Florida. I'm going to have my driver pick you up. Sounds like in the movies. We'll drive you to the yacht, and we'll take you as long as you want, 2, 3, 4 weeks, to all the islands. We'll go, you have the vacation of your time. Right away, I calculated that this vacation would cost him at least $100,000, a boat, gas for the boat, chef, food, a month vacation, like it's $100,000. You want to give it to me like this, no problem. So I say to him, you know what? I have a much better idea. You want to make me a lot happier? Donate 10,000 CDs. We'll make an extra few hundred Jews Shomer Shabbos. Believe me, I'll be in the moon. Better than 1,000 vacation. Sure. Not a penny in the end. For the vacation, that day he would write to me already the check for the tickets, come, do, no problem. It's not stingy, don't get me wrong. He doesn't have a problem, he's going to burn $100,000. But you tell him, give $1,000 to the radio station. We'll make more Jews learn Torah. For that, you need a zchut. Not everyone, Hashem gives him this prize. If a person is able to donate to saving souls, he should be dancing in the street non-stop. Dancing on the streets. You know what's the difference between a healthy person to a sick person? What's the difference between them? Huh?
Frame of mind. I have a different question.
Wait, before. Let's deal with one question at a time.
Yeah, a couple of things. A healthy person can get up and do things. A person that's not healthy can't do for themselves. They need others to enable them.
It's true, but I wasn't referring to this. There's a serious difference between a healthy person to a sick person.
A sick person is a person that is only for themselves, and a person that's well is a person that's able to give.
And what's the last word?
Give.
I'll tell you the answer. Listen good. A healthy person has many things that he's worried about all the time. The sick person is only worried about one thing. That's all. That's the difference. There's only one thing to worry about, his sickness. Will I make it or will I die? That's all in his mind. Doesn't care anymore about money, doesn't care about vacation, doesn't care about the business, doesn't care about the television show he used to like, doesn't care about the baseball, doesn't care about Tarbut Yavan anymore. It's not tasty. Why? I'm struggling for my life. I care about the baseball game. If you don't believe me, take a person that has a lot of businesses or stock that you know. Tell him here, delicious steak, cold beer, glass of whiskey, cigars. Prepare for him whatever you want. Just when he's about to attack the steak, tell him, Moshe, a phone call just came, your stock's crushed. I bet you won't find one that will touch the steak.
This is like, can you kind of clarify this? Because I'm taking something for offer. You don't mean all people offering with money are doing this. That would be worse than whatever.
First of all, Kiruv movements getting donation from somewhere, that means there are good Jews who donate to Kiruv, of course. They won't be able to survive just from breathing. I'm saying that what the contributions are compared to what it's supposed to be, we are very far to please Hashem. And I always say, and we'll finish with that, maybe...
Hara would be the worst part of it all.
No, we're not... Lashon Hara is only when you speak about somebody specific, when you say... You speak about an epidemic...
Even most.
Okay. Anyway, listen good now. Anyway, listen good now. I always say to the people like this. Do you love Hashem? Everybody answer yes. Of course. But you really, really love Him, like this, like we say in Shema Yisrael, B'chol levavcha, b'chol nafshecha, b'chol mo'odecha. You say, I hope, I'm trying. And I answer, we are very far from loving Hashem. But some people, if you connect them to a lie detector, they will say, I love Hashem, and the lie detector would show that they're not lying. And still, I say that they are hallucinating. Why? Let me explain what I mean. They really think they love Hashem. They really think. They get up early in the morning, they pray with all their hearts, they do a lot of things. But they still far away from loving Hashem like Hashem expects them to love them. And I'll explain what I mean again. If a father has 10 sons, 10 sons, one of them is very wealthy and all other 9 are very poor. Very poor. The 9s are struggling tremendously. They can put their kids in yeshivot, they can pay the mortgage, they can pay health insurance, they can even eat normally on Shabbos. They have a very hard life. The very wealthy brother is supporting the father tremendously. He pays his bills, he pays the car fare, he pays his doctors, he pays everything. One day the father times arrived to pass away. He called all his sons to the hospital and he blessed each one of them quickly, and then the wealthy one he keeps to the end, and then he brings him into the room and he said to him, listen, from all the family, I'm angry the most at you. You are the only one who doesn't love me. So the wealthy son say, Father, you got it all wrong. I am the only one who loves you. I took care of you for 30 years. You know how much you cost me? More than $1 million to maintain your expenses. What did I do? So the father say, it's true. You paid all my bills. Everything I needed I had thanks to your money. It's true. But if you really loved me, how did you sleep at night knowing you have 9 brothers struggling on the street from morning to night, and I see it and I'm dying, that my children are out there suffering? You could have saved them like that. But you didn't, because if you love me, you would prevent this suffering from me. That's a sign of love. If you come to the brother and say, you know what, you brother, you're not a good brother, but I'm doing it for our father. And you don't deserve it, but I'll do it for our father. And I'll take care of all of you. Not that I want. I have other things to do with my money, but I don't want my father to suffer. That's a sign of love. Why am I telling you this mashal? Because I always say, sometimes it helps, sometimes not. I say that everyone who loves Hashem must show his love by worry about other Jews, especially the ones who are completely secular and chas v'shalom have no share to the world to come. The one who doesn't know what they do here, they don't keep anything. Intermarriage is rising and rising non-stop. And everyone who could have done something to prevent it, and is cold about it, and he doesn't care, that's a very serious problem. To show Hashem we love Him is to take care of our brothers and sisters and try to bring them back. Hashem gave us the media. We have a radio station. We have websites. We have CDs. If we're not going to do it, we're going to chas v'shalom miss the train. And I'm saying, today there is an epidemic. Every week, a new wonderful, beautiful synagogue is opening up. 10 million, 15 million, 20 million, 7 million, 5 million. Who needs all this? Who needs all this? Half of them anyway is empty. And constantly, every Talmid Chacham who wants his own minyan, yalla, raising $2 million, $3 million, another building. Let's take this money that we're spending on synagogues and on Sifrei Torah, every Sefer Torah, 50,000, 40,000, 80,000. There are some synagogues that have 70, 80 Sifrei Torah in rooms that nobody touch. The family donate $50,000, the Sefer Torah stay there forever. And what happened? If we take all this money that we're burning, that we have no use, and Hashem doesn't need all these hundreds fancy synagogues, and He doesn't need 5,000 Sifrei Torah to stay dusty in some basements of some beautiful synagogues. If we would have taken this money and maintain the things to do kiruv, such as a radio station, such as books, books nobody reads anymore. So media, focusing to get to all these Jews that there's no way to reach them, maybe we would have another 1 million Shomrei Shabbos today. Maybe we wouldn't have Iran on our heads. Maybe the Palestinians wouldn't make a joke out of us. And maybe the intermarriage percentage wouldn't raise to 60, 70, or 80%. Maybe things would look better. Maybe the cancer epidemic would not rise every minute. Maybe the Shlom Bayit situation and the divorce rate and the children who goes off the derech wouldn't rise every minute. Maybe things would look different. In business, you have to know where to invest your money. If you have a stock who bring you 1% profit a year, and you have a stock who bring you 1,000% a year, and you invest in a 1%, you're a total fool. You could have made 1,000 times more. Kiruv, reaching out to people, spreading Torah over the air, everywhere you go, people in their cars. 5 or 10 people here told me today, just today alone. Every Tuesday morning, I have a problem. I cannot get to work on time. I'm stuck in a car. Or one Kollel guy told me, every Tuesday I'm late to Kollel. And every minute I say, okay, let me go this time. Why? So if people love it, you spread Torah so many people that instead of listening to this Torah, who knows what they would do? We have to have a partnership in it. Believe me, it's a very good investment. I want to, Be'ezrat Hashem, hope, who am I to give a blessing, but I want to really hope that hopefully this recording we get to the right people that can help. Those people that can help. Not all of us can help. Some of us can help a little bit, but the ones who can really help, those who do not know how much they have, that they finally hit their head like this and wake up and take 1 million or 2 million from their dusty safe and start helping to save souls before the Mashiach would come. And who's going to save? Who's going to get saved? Who would enjoy the Geulah if half of his relatives will go, I don't want to tell you where? Who would enjoy it when 80% of us have no idea what Shabbat is? Like Chacham Ovadia said, that most of the kids in Israel don't even know what is it Shema Israel. How would we get to them? Only money, only donation, only fundraising, but real ones. Be'ezrat Hashem, in this Hanukkah, I'm telling you, we're still far away from beating the Greeks. The work is tremendous. There's a lot more to do. In the meantime, the Greeks are dead already for more than 2,000 years, and they are in grave or in hell, and they're laughing at us non-stop. The Jews think they won over us. We're in every one of their homes. Every one of their homes, television, statues, wealth, this is our culture. Sport, they give their life for our culture. There's a lot more to do to save it. And the only way to do it is with the Torah, spreading Torah, bringing it to every Jew. Thank you very much. Happy Hanukkah. All the best.